Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, it should be hello, not good morning.
Yeah, it should be hello. Hello.
Hello.
In today's video, we are going to continue our work on the face. I found a really reliable way of stopping it then, and that's to run over my own foot. Turns out a clog makes an excellent shock. A K20 A2 from a Honda. Looking more and more like a car every single day.
We've built a 600 horsepower chassis for a 250 horse engine.
There you go. Noodly, but surprisingly resilient. I want this car to be able to sit next to some of the most beautiful cars ever made and outshine them. One of one. This is Project Mosquito. So today we are going to embark on a rather nerve-wracking and crucial part of the car, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going to put the line in that didn't exist on the original car because the wings were like a pontoon. They came all the way back this way.
Yeah, they weren't how they're supposed to be.
No.
There were these big blocks, and we don't want big blocks. We want like sculptural, athletic, beautiful lines. And so we need a line that runs from the inside of our headlight all the way up
to this point,
the corner of the windscreen, yeah. And that's a line you'll see on every good-looking car ever.
Also helps spill the air down the side of the car rather than being forced up over the roof.
Yeah, it helps take the high pressure that builds up in a bubble here in front of your windscreen and kind of vent it off down the sides rather than trying to shove it all over the top. Got some trestles. Trestles for wood in it. Making the MDF. Does anybody know the calorific content of MDF?
So if we go from the corner of the windscreen through this line, so if we get it 130,
yeah,
we can always cut it down shorter if we need it.
Exactly.
But better being too long than insufficient.
Yeah. Was that your method with Mum when you made me? What? If we make him too long, we can always cut some off. Yeah. It bends a bit, but it's not great. So if we raise it up here and then bend it down from that point with 3 cuts at least,
yeah,
that will get us pointing in the right direction, I think. So if we put a line in the middle, that keeps us registered where we need to be registered. Yeah. Right, so we're calling that the centre of our tyre. There seems to be kind of a rule of thumb that this inner wing line runs to the edge of the windscreen glass itself and not just kind of to the A-pillar, neighbours, and not just to the A-pillar. But we don't know exactly why it does that. We don't.
I think it's just to literally spill the air off the side like I said before.
But many people who have come before us have figured out these rules of aesthetics, and like we never went to school for car design, so. But just because, like before Newton figured out gravity still worked. So we're working on those principles. Like you don't need to know why it do to know that it has to be that way.
So we've got this line here.
Yeah, the more we can line it up, the more registration we've got, the better. And then every single time you're bending it same amount from same places.
we'll do, we'll glue these in. When we get to our exact position, we'll glue them in place. We'll take the screws out.
Yeah.
Once the glue's set.
So we've decided that where it was isn't good enough because the height from, just man your hand up, the height from here to here is too severe of an incline, isn't it?
Yep.
And so we need to move it out and then we can chill that angle out. It's a really difficult compromise because you've got this thickness, but also this thickness that you need to balance. You take it too far that way and this bit gets really thick. You take it not far enough that way and the height between here and here becomes really problematic.
We've basically found out the limitations of our MDF and it's not strong enough to put a bend in, it just falls apart. Need a better method of manufacturing.
Yeah.
So we're going to literally cut a really broad piece and then mark it down with a pencil line and cut it out. So it saves trying to bend it and
What's it?
make it more.
This video is brought to you by the wonderfully generous members in our Patreon who every single month contribute to help us make the videos that we want to make and bring them to you all for free. And not only that, but they help us build the car as well. And we genuinely couldn't do any of this without them. They're incredible. And for that, they get an extra video every single week, plus spoiler photos and stuff like that. I honestly wish I could do more. They're amazing. And our slicks and qualifying slicks get a shout out mid video. Qualifying slicks go first because they get their names on a plaque on the car right under the maker's plate. And they are Neil Fuller, Derek Green, Noah Matheson, Mike Satke, Steve Schreifer and Rick Wells. And our slick members, Alex Bottomley, David Flaherty, Old Goat, Brian Marshall, Robert Millwood, Justin Perkins, Logan Pillsbury, Rob Podmore, Liam Quinn, Darryl Rowe, Rick's a qualifying slick. Why is that always in my head? Tim Ritchie, Joshua Clayton, Andy Wood. If you'd like to join our Patreon and join that wonderful community, then you can check out patreon.com/oliverpickard or the link in the description for more. And thank you. We've just been a look at some of our reference photos and it curves out, round, and then we want it to go kind of in and forward, so it's the width you want here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because when they taper in a lot that way, it makes a car that looks very fishy. If you're wondering what the paintbrush is all about, you can't see your line. As you're sewing, the sawdust covers up the line and you can't see where you're going. So you've got to keep stopping, or you've got to cut with a mask, without a mask, and keep blowing on it, which isn't good with this MDF stuff. So by using a paintbrush, we can sweep the dust away as we go, and Dad can cut straight lines. And we aim in the... Well, first thing we need to do is cut an angle on it, Dad, for windscreen clearance, yeah?
Yeah.
And use this inside against here. So then you've got a... Yeah? That makes sense.
We're taking this corner of the windscreen to this edge and that point there, and we'll come up from the centre of the .66.
We'll just put a straight line on it as well, and then we can see where the middle of the curve is, yeah? Yeah, let's have a look at that. We made it too thick, didn't we?
Oh, we made it thick because we knew. We knew that's what we needed to do. We could cut it now.
So we think we've got it with this one, but we're going to want to cut it on an angle, obviously. And so because we want to cut it on an angle, we're giving ourselves 30mm all the way down, and then that way we can cut away at this and still not lose where we want to be. All right, Dad, cut along the dotted line. There you go. Yeah. So, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Now, we've made one really important modification to the car since you've last seen it. We've blown the tyres up. Because it weighs so little that the tyres go flat and we don't even notice.
No, they don't squash the tyre.
No. But we definitely notice it when we push it. Right. That being said, it doesn't actually require that much air in the tyres. When it's a road car, it'll have what, 1.5 bar, something like that, in the front tyres. Not much more than my 2CV. Right, so this is Mark II, and we've made it bendy.
Is it bendy enough?
Is it bendy enough? I don't know. Not really.
No?
No.
Alright, I can make it a bit more bendy.
Yeah. I do think though we'll leave this bit not bendy.
Yeah.
So we can put a screw through it, because that's where it split
That's where
last
it
time.
split last time, yeah.
Are you not going to add a cut in between cuts?
No. A little bit deeper, that's all. Because some of them have tightened up, look.
Yeah.
So if we...
What's it called? The offset of the teeth in a saw?
The set.
Set. In fact, set, right? Funny set, what do you call it? Tangent. Set has more definitions to it in the English dictionary than any other. It's like 36 pages in the Oxford English Dictionary. Yeah, some of them have gone tighter than others, so the set will make it wider as well, won't it?
Yeah.
In itself. But yeah, there's tons of different meanings for the word set. Because you've got like a badger's house, Egyptian gods, all sorts.
Tennis.
Yeah.
Saws.
Yeah. Yes, we are okay on the side that we need to be okay on. We are okay. Yes.
Because it only touches in one spot.
Yeah. Exactly. And all this is going. So I'm actually looking at the wrong end. Yeah. So yes, where it needs to touch, it touches. But not flat up to this angle, which we knew it wouldn't. Yeah?
Yep.
But yeah, up to there and there, we're all right. Obviously, putting the cuts in a different place would create a different contour, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to make sure we put cuts in the right side and look, it's mirror image there.
Yeah, that's true.
So this pencil line runs to the corner of the windscreen.
Yep.
That lines up with that centre line.
Mm-hmm. That goes down there. And we have to secure this.
Does that catch on there? Does that need more off it there?
Does it
Yeah,
catch?
it does.
Yeah.
It hits that.
Yes.
Right, so we just have to grind that off.
Hang on, I'll just get knot out of your grinder. The string.
Yeah, I don't want cable. I don't want electric getting dizzy, do we? Going around that knot.
No, it's not that. It's as grinders tend to do. It's got a short over its lifespan as this wire. So you need all the length you can get. Yep, one through there.
Does that need more?
I think we're all right. It's hard. It's hard. It's going to have to be built up anyway.
Yeah, I know, but it's better, the flatter we can get it, the more surface area off for the glue and all that.
That's true. So yes.
Some more off?
Yes. Yeah, if we can flatten that line.
Yep. We can pop one in here, I think. Yep.
Go down into there, we're big one?
No, just a small screw, it'll do.
No, there's a big gap.
Come to this edge then.
So that is the inner limit, this line here, of our headlight bucket.
Yeah.
Correct, with the corrected line in it. And we tried a bunch of different curves, and they all look too thick. So in the end, I grabbed the meter rule, put it on, drew down it, and with the contour, because obviously this isn't lead flat because of everything we've put underneath it, and because it's contoured down, it already has a curve in it, and that is enough. That tiny little bit of a curve is sufficient.
Yeah.
And that gives us plenty of room for a headlight bucket. Between there, obviously you can run that back on an angle, which runs to your edge of your headlight. That gives us more than enough for our headlight opening, yeah?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, you need a distance from here. Bentley, stop it. You need a distance from here to here enough so that you can have some kind of contour to your headlight bucket, so it's not a massive jump from there to there. We'll cut it down.
Yeah, we'll have to, yeah.
It's funny, isn't it, right? You start with this little skinny thing and you try and make this little skinny thing do, and we just couldn't get it to do, and then we make a really wide thing and then slowly whittle it down into a skinny thing that will do. There's been a few people in the comments joke that like we've turned most of it into sawdust, and it's true, but often it's the only way to get to where you need to be. Everything inside because we're melting.
Yeah, it's going to be another 40-degree day today.
Yeah, it has been, well, it's all over news, and it's the hottest year since ever.
Since ever, yeah.
So once we'll fix the inner reinforcement that gives this its curvature in. And remember, this is the inner part where the bonnet stops going downhill and starts going uphill towards the arch. So we're marking the bottom of the valley, really, if that makes sense, before the hill. And then the next line will be the top of the hill. So we're going to mark our body line, which is what became the edge on the sides of the wedge cars in the 70s. But from the early 60s, cars were super round. I've done a video all about this on Patreon. But in the 60s, cars were super, super rounded and all voluptuous and bubbly. And then as we progressed towards the 70s, cars got like a crease in you know how you have a crease in the centre of a pair of like wool trousers? They got a crease that ran down the entire body line. And that's the body line we've been working towards this entire time. It's a really important part of this car. And of every car from the very specific era that we are kind of evoking. Well, I'm thinking also putting a peg on it as well. And then that way, once the glue goes off, we can take all the screws out. And when we grind into it, we won't be hitting screws. Right, so we need to take the headlight out because our method of retention isn't exactly perfect and we don't want it to throw us off.
So what I'm doing now is marking out the centre of the headlight so we can put the top edge of the wing into the profile.
But that's not the top of the wing.
No, that's just the top of the radius.
Yeah. And because these aren't exactly, you know, round. It's we need something better to go off. So before we put our body line in, we're going to put a piece along the top that's kind of a headlight reinforcement, because obviously here we're working too much in mid-air. Yep, and now we need to chop it on an angle.
Oh, look at that. This time.
Yeah, I'm going to suggest that we screw a piece of oak in that way, onto there, and then we can screw through this into the piece of oak.
Even a bit of pine.
And same this way.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all right there. So literally we can just screw and glue that on.
Yep.
Yeah, and mark this back edge. That's all right there.
Yeah, the front arches aren't actually very big. Well, we all knew it wasn't going to like that.
Right, it's a really good jigsaw, except for one, it doesn't cut straight. And it's got a really nice chuck, the blade's really easy to change, there's a lot of good features on it, but it don't cut straight. Does anybody know?
The chuck tends to wander.
Yeah, does anybody know of a jigsaw that actually cuts straight?
Or any hacks that for these?
Because I've set it up with a square, I've done everything you need to, but the blade just goes like this constantly. Yeah. And it just takes you off on its own journey.
So if you've got any tips or tricks, let us know down in the comments below, please. Right, so we glue this on.
Yeah.
It is currently 22 mil.
So we've got 7 mil off that.
Yep. So we're going to make our arch centre line parallel with the bonnet centre line. And the reason is it's not the top of the arch. And because it's not the top of the arch, it's easier mathematically, because we don't have to have it leaning in or out or anywhere. It's just in there as a support. It's easier mathematically if it's parallel with this line. And then, because the top of the arch is the body line, not the arch top. You are now 60.5 and a bit.
That's near enough then for what we need here.
We should have made a template for this for the other side.
Can we take it back off quick before glue goes?
Yeah. There's a big difference between being perfect and being perfectionist. Right. Now then, do we do bodyline in slices? Do we combine kind of this technique with this technique? Because it's going to be thicknesses through a curve in it.
Yeah.
This body line is the entire reason for all of the MDF and us using this method, because we really want to get this body line right. And it's the entire kind of backbone of the operation, if you will.
That's jolly well and it. Get it top edge as well. No.
Almost level. Because remember, we've got a bevel in here as well.
Yeah, because that's got to drop thickness, so that's got to drop down as well.
Yeah. There's a well, you've seen the headlight, and you've seen that there's a little gap above the headlight. Well, that's a bevel, so that is basically our radius going right back. It's pretty straight, and then the highest point of our arch will be bodyline. Because as we showed, right back when we started doing the front end, and we put the headlights in and we held the headlights up and we put the level against the top of the wing to the top of the headlight, they were perfectly level.
Yeah.
So the headlights, contrary to popular belief and comment section, the headlights are actually level with the bottom of the A-pillar, not above it. It's just an optical illusion. This is it to a certain degree. You can't trust your eyes.
No. Even then, if you know, if you'd have said about if that but the centre of the wheel, you know, the centre of the tyre this way, looking at it, it looks odd until they draw that line through.
Yeah.
And now you can see it straight through, but until then it always looks further back.
And because the headlight's a parabola, right? Because it's an inward dome and it's mirrored and it's got a lens on the outside of it and it reflects light back at your eye at different angles depending on how you look at it. It looks a lot higher than a point that's way back there. That's why we painted these black in the first place, because the light shining off them threw us off completely. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So, yesterday after the cameras were off and everything, Dad and I just sat around chatting for a bit and figuring out, and we've got this top line in. It's not the highest point of our arch, is this. I think I might have mentioned that. It's the second highest. And so this is basically just a support. So we're going to chop this top off so that we know we're going in the right direction and then put the body line in, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, for those wondering about the height of the headlights, the edge of the headlight obviously is not the edge of this piece of wood. And from level, so if you created a level point that runs all the way back, the edge of the headlight here is actually 30 mil below level. So we can actually take quite a bit off this front, but we're not going to do that yet because this is in service of the body line. And we need to get that in next. And then later on, when we get it all as we want it, then we'll do the specifics of this line because we obviously want a recessed edge, just like we do for here as well, actually, so that we can put our plastic lenses on over our fog lights, but also our plastic lenses over our headlights to keep everything nice and aerodynamic. But we're not doing that fine detail stuff now. That's later. This is all about silhouette because it's really hard to refine a body when half of it's missing. And so what we're actually doing in all of this process is creating a body shape, creating a silhouette. That's why we haven't done like the inner boxes and stuff like that. We're not going into detail right now. We're basically creating a body shape that can then later be refined. And it's a step in the right direction, definitely. And it's worth saying at this point because we've got a bunch of new viewers. Hello, new viewers. It's lovely to have you here. This is not a wooden body, right? We're not making a wooden body. This is what's referred to as a plug, which is basically a body-shaped thing that we will then make a mold from, and then from that mold, we will make a brand new lightweight composite body. This, our plug, can be made of anything that you like, as long as it can be made of foam, it can be made of paper and wire. There's a bunch of different ways of doing it. We've chosen this method because it will give us the result that we specifically want in the style that we specifically want, which is like a book style, to replicate the kind of the late 60s method of making aluminium bodies, but also the way that early composite bodies were made as well, because had a lot of coach builders who were used to aluminium going into making composite. In fact, a lot of them made aluminium bodies and then for a plug, and then used that aluminium body to make a mold, and then from that mold made their first composite bodies. People like Ferrari and stuff did that. So yeah, the MDF is there because it's the same density all the way through. Something like pine and stuff like that, where you got knots and stuff, and it's quite difficult to shape. we're using MDF because it creates a reasonably strong structure, unlike paper and wire that you take off and it can go all floppy. And unlike foam, it doesn't, it holds an edge, which foam doesn't hold an edge at all. It's terrible for holding an edge, because once you do this, then you put filler over the top, then you sand it all back, and your edges end up all kind of thick and odd and blobby, and a lot of composite cars look a bit marshmallowy, and we don't want that at all. So yeah, we're in a very different method, but it's kind of the same thing. It gives us the style that we want. And this car will be finished. This plug has to be finished like a proper car. So it has to be painted, it has to be filled, it has to be bodywork. The better we can make it, the better the mold will be. The better the mold is, the better our final body will be. And so yeah, it's a time-consuming process, but very much worth it. Reversing in clogs, it's never a good idea. They're strictly forward shoes. Select. There we go. Bit long.
Yeah, it's 110 in it whenever they chopped it there.
This arch design to be really Marmite. Some people are going to love it and some people aren't, and that's fine. Go. Yes.
Yeah, right. What's important now, I think, is that point and that point in it, because we need that edge to run.
Yeah. And I'm going to suggest that we push it inside now.
Yeah, it's getting super hot now. It's not even 8 o'clock in the morning yet, and it's roasting.
It's high 30s. So yeah, into the workshop it goes.
Yeah. So if we take it off now, we can trim this in a pot here.
Yep.
So we can lift our, we'll take our suspension.
Cut the spacer down.
Cut the spacer down. And we can cut this down as well, I think. Should be more than enough clearance there to get us to full bump.
Yeah. Right, level.
Yes, sir. Level's at bottom. Yeah, I'll get a rack for that tyre.
Yep, thank you. Gonna draw around where you want your glue.
Oh.
There we go. Now, there's a line here that the camera probably won't pick up, and this is basically the center of our crease, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so this is one side of the crease, and then we're going to put another piece on now, and that'll be the other side of the crease. And then that way, when we sand it back, we'll end up with a line that runs down that is the center of our crease.
Yeah, and obviously it's got to curve back that way, and obviously round that way.
Yep.
So this is the wing, this is not the wheel arch.
Yes. It's both.
I don't know whether jumping gun or not, taking these clamps off.
Yeah, give it a minute. Give it a moment.
That's the,
Yeah, bang on. Something like that. Well, what we're going to have to do is just keep removing, just keep removing, just keep removing. Yeah, yeah.
but if we put a piece underneath, then we can blend it out. But we need that bit underneath first.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
So yesterday we stopped filming because how much grinding can you really sit through? But we pushed it outside and we put in this body line, which is kind of one of the, well, all of this is in aid of the body line, isn't it? Because we want this body line to run all the way through the arch, through the top of the doorway, and then it'll run back through the rear arches as well. It's this body line here, the one that we've been talking about since the very beginning. It now runs through the whole car.
Yeah, which is fantastic, and we use the MDF so we can get a nice, crisp line to the whole body line.
Yeah, because it holds an edge.
Yeah, because it holds an edge. It's fantastic stuff to use for that. So that's the main reason we've used it.
Yeah, this whole like book thing was completely driven by having this MDF, and a lot of people these days, bubble arches, I think they're a bit too easy, aren't they? Yeah. Everybody does bubble arches, and this isn't the arch, of course. This is just the headlight. This is the beginning of arch, isn't it? Yeah. This is the inside part of your wheel arch. But everybody does bubble arches these days. They're really easy. You just bung them on, and people put a load of foam blocks on and rough in a bubble arch, and everybody's done it.
Yeah.
And every car in the world has had bubble arches on, and we wanted to do something different.
Yeah. So we wanted to hark back to the original Italian coach builders. Way of doing things.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's the 60s.
Late 60s
inspired car, so we'll do it the way that they did.
Yeah, it's a really weird, really specific moment in time, right before everything became a wedge. And yeah, this line is really important. And so, yeah, it's mega, and I'm really happy with it. But we want to put a bit more radius in it, don't we, this way?
Yep.
And so we're going to now take a little bit off this edge and give it that it needs.
Okay, let's crack on. Well, unfortunately, that's all we've got time for this week.
But I'm going to say I'm probably the most proud of this, of anything that we've done on the body so far.
Yeah, it's worked out really, really well. It's put I think in the technical terms, a stress line.
People say stress line?
Yeah.
It's been a stress line. but it's, people say coach line, people say body line, people say all sorts. But it's basically the whole side profile of the car runs through the windscreen and the roof and the body line, doesn't it?
Yep.
From nose to tail. Like, that's the thing that you look at when you see a car from, you know, however, 20 foot away, whatever, 15 meters away, that's 50 foot in it. When you see a car from there, you don't see any of the detail. What you see is a shape, right?
The silhouette.
The silhouette, right? The gestalt of it, right? And it's that we've been trying to put in. You know, this isn't a wheel arch. It's actually kind of the inside of the wheel arch, rather than an outside of a wheel arch yet. But this is where it all happens, and this is where everything comes from, and that's why we needed to get it in first. But like I say, it's been a stress line because it's something that we've been talking about putting it in.
We've kind of agonised over it for a long time, and obviously because it curves up and then down and then into the rest of the line, but it also curves this way.
Yeah. So it has to curve that way, and it has to curve that way, and it has to curve that way, and of course eventually it will have to curve kind of this way and that way. So it kind of has to do everything, and it's like, you can see it in your head, but making it out of wood, flat sheets of MDF is a completely different thing.
But I think it's been super successful and well worth all the massive amount of effort Oliver's put into actually make it as good a profile as we can possibly make it. It's turned out really, really well.
I think I wouldn't take credit. It's definitely combined. It's not me, it's us. And the thing is that this line here, getting this line in, tells you where it begins, and then this line tells you where it ends. So everything comes up and this way. And like I say, it's the most, when you look at a car straight on, it's the defining feature of the car. When you look at a car from like the side, it's the defining feature of a car. You know, we all look at a car like they've got eyes. And that brow line of a car, and how those lights are framed is so important. You look at a car from the side, and that coach line and the line over the roof that we've changed on this car, like, that's all us, and that's why I'm so proud of it. But we have this tendency of taking it incredibly seriously and putting a lot of.
We put each other through a lot of stress to get to this point. Because it is so important to us. To anybody else, it's just a line on a car, or a couple of lines on a car, but it's not. It's a culmination of a lot of hard work.
It's a culmination of years of thought and years of passion and years of wanting it to be right.
And it's working.
And figuring out how to do that. And figuring out how to do that with no money and no tools and no.
Oh, we've done it.
You know? And it's there. We need another one now. Well, actually, no, we need three more. But yeah.
So tell us what you think in the comments. Does it look as good as we think it does?
It's not perfect. But it's very flipping close.
Very close, and it is still obviously a work in progress with all this.
No, it's all this that's wrong. It's that thing again. That thing of, you make it so correct, and then when you get more specific, everything else then needs to get more specific. But yeah, I can see where it's going now. We can. And I'd like to thank you all for joining us in this episode. If you like this, then please let us know down in the comments. If you don't like it, that's all right as well. But still, let us know down in the comments. And you clicking like on this video, and we do all this for you, right? We make these episodes for you because we love doing this stuff, but we can't do it without you. And so we need your help. We need you to click like, we need you to subscribe if you're enjoying these episodes. And if you do love these episodes, then we need you to let us know down in the comments. And if you'd like to support us one step further, then there's always Patreon. So please be awesome to each other, and we'll see you all
in the next video.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.